This is what I call the wealth conversion cycle. And the wealth conversion cycle is something I've seen for years with many of my coaches, many of my mentors. I've seen many leaders use the wealth conversion cycle. And after studying a number of wealth creators, wealth generators, I said to myself, there's a pattern here. And I took it upon myself to start to study that pattern, not only in the books I was reading, but actually in the coaches and mentors that I was working with. And from studying the pattern, I started to see something that most people never see. So I'm going to share this with you. This is exactly how it looks, and you can utilize this to help you move further and faster in your future. So what is the wealth conversion cycle? The wealth conversion cycle is a simple cycle that allows people to take their income and turn it into what they really need, which is their desired outcome. Now, what most people do is they take their income, which they earn, and they take that income and decide to do two things. Some people decide to keep that income, okay, which is cool. If you want to do that, it's cool. Other people make the decision to allocate that income. Now, here's the reality. You could allocate your income to assets. You can allocate your income to liabilities. But the problem is, this is where most people live. Most people live right here. And this is the reason why most people financially are not where they desire to be. So the question is, Samuel, what do I need to do if I don't want to be like most people? Well, you need to shift to the other side of the wealth conversion cycle. You have to be someone who can get to this side of the wealth conversion cycle so you can start producing true wealth for yourself. Okay? So Samuel, what happens on the bottom of the wealth conversion cycle? I'm so glad you asked, right? This thing that we mentioned here, where we allocate, okay? The question is, what are we allocating? Well, that's what happens at the bottom of the wealth creation cycle. The first thing is we're allocating to acquire. We're allocating our income that we've earned, our revenue that we've earned to acquire assets, okay? We're allocating to generate. Generate what, Samuel? To generate cash flow. We're looking for opportunities to allocate and to generate. We don't just want money to come in and then we don't know how we're going to win. We want the money that we earn to be money that we don't keep, but money that we allocate. And if we're good enough at allocating it to acquire assets and to generate income, guess what we get to do? We get to do the rest of the bottom of the wealth conversion cycle, which is reinvest. Reinvest in what, Samuel? More assets that we can acquire at our desire, more cash that we can generate so we can perpetuate our growth and our wealth to accumulate. And we get to do one other thing besides reinvest. We also get to repeat the process. You see, this wealth conversion cycle is something that after working with coaches, paying tens of thousands of pounds to work with multiple coaches, both in the UK, in the US of A, I started to see it again and again. I started to see coaches, participants, like mentors, leaders. Like I started to see so many people who had exponentially created wealth do it in such a similar fashion. And I kept saying to myself, like, this looks like a system that all of these people are working, but none of these people are sharing. Like, can't they see the system? And then I started to realize, oh no, what they're doing is they're converting wealth. And they're so focused, some of the coaches, some of the mentors, they're so focused on the way they earn the income that they haven't learned what they're doing to convert the income. Then I saw other people who were so focused on how they convert the income that they even lost focus on how they earn the income. And then I realized, like, the reason why most people don't have wealth is because most people stay right here. Most people are stuck earning income and trying to keep the income instead of realizing that what they need to do is earn the income, not to keep the income, but to allocate the income. Allocate the income on what, Samuel? On the assets they can acquire so that they can generate income, so that they can continue to reinvest and repeat the process. This is how you have the financial lifestyle you desire. The financial lifestyle you desire occurs when you implement and employ the ultimate shift. And that ultimate shift is recognizing that income is not the destination. Your earned income isn't the end goal. Your earned income isn't the grand finale. Your earned income isn't the finish line. Your earned income is simply the entry point into the wealth creation cycle. Your earned income is simply the starting line into the wealth accumulation process. If you're someone like many of my friends and clients, then that means you're going to end up starting to live over here. This is where cash flow creators live. We live right here. We live right here. We live on this side of the wealth conversion system. We're acquiring assets. We're investing in things that generate income. We're finding ways to reinvest. We're finding ways to repeat the process. If you're hearing what I've shared and you're taking value from this process, I want you to write in the comments the word reinvest. Write in the comments the word reinvest. So I know that you now have a process, you now have a framework, you now have a system that you can employ and deploy so you can start to reinvest and live like the best instead of have to struggle like all the rest. Now, I want to ask you a question. Again, if you got your journal, your notepad, your iPad, your tablet, your stylus, your pen, paper, everything you need in order to succeed, write this question down. It's going to change your life. The question is simple. If your income stayed exactly the same for the next 5 years, could you still become wealthy? You see, for those who have spent so many years trying to work harder at increasing their income, I don't know how they're going to answer this question. But for those who've recognized they need a system more than they need to work harder, I kind of have a feeling I know how they're going to answer the question.
Small keys open big doors.